It's Rosemary. No. Rosemary said I had to start my video filling in for her just like that. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. I am your Sunday substitute blogger today only for the much beloved and missing Rosemary, who is busy at the Texas meet and greet. And she asked me to fill in for her, and I'm very glad to be here. It's a really great topic, and we're going to start off the week strong. I thank you for joining me, and welcome to my backyard. This is Sally, also known as Sassy Sally, also known as Cabernet Queen, for those who have not been to my channel. I started my weight loss surgery almost exactly 1 year ago this week, November 2nd. I have a couple weeks left for my 1 year surgiversary. I started out at 248 pounds before surgery. And day of surgery was about 225, and today I am glad to report I have reached beyond my wildest dreams to 135. So I'm done. I mean, I can't imagine I want to be any more done than I am. So I'm in a new part of my life, and this is a really good question today. So let's get with the program. You have to forgive me. I'm a little puffy-eyed in the morning, so I've got my glasses to kind of cover it up, but then I can't see what I wrote to say to you. So I'm going to take them off. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Here's the question. What are your weaknesses? Do you see them as opportunities? Do you think these have gotten worse or better since having weight loss surgery? If food is or was a weakness, do you still crave the same things? And the last one is, how do you combat cravings? Do you choose to deprive yourself, or do you eat what you crave to satisfy the need and move on? Really a powerful bunch of questions, and I had these and have been thinking about these for a while. This morning I got up and did some writing, and so forgive me if I refer to my notes, or I would just ramble all over like I do on my own channel. So, what are your weaknesses? I didn't like the word weakness, quite honestly. It bothered me. It made me feel bad. So I looked up alternate words. Define weakness. Weakness is not strong, liable to yield or break or collapse under pressure or strain. That's not a good thing. So I like to think that my issues with food are more proclivities or challenges, and challenges are a positive way to look at a weakness, because a challenge in our life is something to overcome, something to battle, to fight, to win, and to overcome, and that makes us stronger. And this first year of weight loss surgery, post-surgery, especially the first few months, is really a growing time. And we can be weak in our flesh or weak in our spirit, and as Wendy says, it's all a head game. It's got to start in your head. So the weakness in our spirit, in our souls, where we're cracked and broken, that's where food has crept in. And so I look at this past year as an opportunity to overcome old flaws, old patterns of behavior, identify them, and to work on eradicating them or overcoming them and being a stronger person in the end. And I believe that's happened. It can happen for everybody. I mean, we'll always have weaknesses, so-called, but they don't have to define us anymore. Okay. Do I see a weakness or a challenge as an opportunity? I kind of just covered that. Yes, because that causes us to grow. And when we grow, we heal and we overcome. And you can be an overcomer, not a weak willy. You can be an overcomer. Because what's the alternative except to lay down and wallow in your weaknesses and your tendencies or your proclivities or your addictions? We don't want to lay down and wallow in it. We've been wallowing in it for all these years. That's one of the reasons we got to be as big as we were. And some people suffer from a real addiction level of weakness or brokenness, and some of us don't. I don't consider that I have an addiction as much as I have bad patterns of behavior driven by emotional need that I'm able to figure out and work over. So, do you think these have gotten worse or better since having weight loss surgery? My weaknesses, or my opportunity, how we deal with them. And I said, absolutely, I am better and stronger since having surgery. I've had a year to hone my skills. You know, we're given that toolbox after they rewired us. And I don't know about you, but I was amazed right off that I didn't realize we weren't going to have physical hunger for a while. I mean, I was shocked. No one had pointed out to me. It wasn't just they were going to rewire and make your stomach smaller so you couldn't hold very much and you'd feel satiated faster. But you literally did not have physical hunger. And that was a phenomenal gift. And then the gifts just kept getting better because that allowed you to be stronger and more resolved in other ways with food. Not having to fight physical hunger, which is normal, and we should have some physical hunger. But it takes months for that to come back. At least it did for me. Yeah, my body wasn't driving me anymore the way it did. Now, cravings are more, that can be physical, chemical imbalance or need for something we're not eating enough of. We can have physical cravings that are true, but we can have a lot of mental, emotional cravings for stuff. And I think that I have learned a lot about myself and when those cravings might hit. But I have to say, post-surgery, it's a night and day difference on how you deal with it. I don't find anything insurmountable anymore. When you have a craving, you deal with it, which are the next few questions. Or you don't give in, you can give in, but if you fall off track, it's not insurmountable to think about getting back up and doing it right the next moment or the next day or the next hour. It doesn't seem impossible. I don't feel like an utter failure every time I fall down, which I used to because I just couldn't fight that disease without this tool. And a lifetime, and I'm almost 53, I won't lie, it probably looks like that this morning too. I'm rather puffy in the morning, so you're getting me at my absolute most attractive state. The things that I couldn't fight in the old life, I can fight in the new life. In my rebirth, it's almost like they gave me the tools that normal people had from early in their life, and I never had those tools. I never had the ability that skinny people had. I was cheated out of that somehow in my DNA or my wiring or my emotional crap. I don't beat myself up anymore. I can turn over a new leaf without a lot of anxiety and personal failings and doubting that I'll ever succeed. I don't deal with that anymore. I know I'm going to succeed. I've succeeded. I know I'm going to kick butt in maintenance. I know I'm not going back to where I came from. I know it like I know my name. I'm owning it. I'm holding on to it like a bulldog. I'm tenacious. It's not coming away from me. You can't get that away from me. I have to believe. Okay. If food is or was a weakness, do you still crave the same things? I write here that I think that I'm fortunate because I don't feel I have an addiction level of need, and other people fight that in a way that I can't begin to fully appreciate because I don't have that same degree of need. It's different for me. I know other people have it a lot tougher. I was love hungry as a child. That's why I started to eat. My favorite memory, the place I felt my happy place, was when nobody was around, or I had the part of the house to myself where the TV was, and I could make cream of mushroom soup out of the can and sit on the floor with my face basically in the TV with a little footstool in front of me, head hanging over the cream of mushroom soup, and just, you know what I'm saying? That was my comfort happy place. And what I found was when the next question is, how do you combat your cravings? Well, if I crave or have a need, it's for comfort food. And I found that easy to fill with things like lentils and quinoa and blends of different legumes and beans, anything that ends up being a smooth thing. And if you look at Indian food, which I'd not eaten before, but anything that's kind of a mishmash that's smooth and creamy and thick, and you can put lots of spices in, a variety of flavors, is really satisfying to my soul, like soups and stews. I've even started to make a Moroccan stew with sweet potatoes and totally different spices than you would think to use in regular American cooking, and it is divine. So if I can fill my need there, I'm good. The other thing I have issues with is things like baked goods, homemade baked goods. I can't have them in the house. I just can't. Not yet. I'm not ready for that, and I may not ever need to be ready for that. Who says I have to have that stuff in my house? I have no children here anymore. My husband will just have to suffer. How do I deal with cravings? If I want cravings, I don't like to let things build to a craving. If I'm out and I want to have a piece of cheesecake, I will have a bite or two of cheesecake. And that's fine. That's all I want. I'm good. I don't have that need to finish the whole thing anymore that I used to. Unless it's a pan of brownies on the counter. I can't. I just can't have those things around me. So I do have a real issue with some things. Most things I can overcome. Portion control is how I deal with it. And if so, that's why I have a bite or two. The other thing is, I run in the opposite direction. I will run as far away as I can, from the brownie aisle, the baked goods aisle, the chocolate chip aisle. I almost had a panic attack in the store last week, going down that aisle to buy spices. I don't know what happened, but something happened, and it was physical and visceral and deep-seated in my brain, and I went with it. I went, oh, got to get out of here. That's what my reality was. I don't have things in my home that I cannot deal with. And the other thing is running away. I will walk as fast as I can out the door and get some tension off. If I'm craving something, some of it could be from tension. So I try to de-stress and have no tension or drama or anxiety in my life at all, if I can possibly help it, because that's what will drive me to need to find a drug of choice to de-stress. And so I stay in a state of trying to find, hello puppy dog, don't knock the camera, Pock. I try to stay in a place of peace all the time as much as humanly possible. I don't put myself in a place to get stressed out or upset. So this year's been good for me because I've been able to maintain that kind of balance in my life. I'm very grateful that I have the ability to do that because I have a husband who takes care of me. And I've taken some time off to make this the focus of the rest of my life. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, folks. This is what I do. I satisfy my craving. I try to hit it before it's a craving, before it gets out of control. A little taste is not a craving. A craving is when I'm driven to distraction. I don't let it get that bad. I try never to let it get that bad. So that's it, folks. Sorry if I was all over the place. Good morning to everybody. Have a great week. And I'll just see y'all around.